Hi, welcome to the Squeak Wheel Farm. Today I'm just going to throw together a pot of chili. I've got a bunch of apples that I want to process for applesauce and whatever other ways I can process them. I might make some apple pie filling and can that up as well, but I need to make some chili for dinner for later. So come along with me, I'll show you how I do it. It's just a quick video, but if you don't know how to make chili, this might help you. So what I've got here is some frozen onions. I'm going to brown those up really quickly. Add to the chili. And while that's thawing and cooking a little bit, I've got some celery that I'm going to just lightly cook. Just throw it in the crock pot. And the reason I do that is I think it kicks off some of the water, and that helps for me to have thicker chili. And then I've got some frozen bell peppers. I'm also going to chop those up just to add to the chili, give it some flavor. My husband's not really fond of peppers. It needs the flavor, but I leave the pieces kind of large because that way he can pick them out if he's having one of those days. Some days he'll eat whatever I put in front of him, and other days, yeah, not so much. And this is just a pound of our own ground beef. There's not a lot of grease in it because we've got mostly grass-fed cows. We do give them some grain on the days when the weather's bad in the winter. And they also get grain in the spring after they've had their calves, because otherwise their condition just drops so much from the calves pulling it off of them. So that's how we keep our cows healthy. It helps them, but we don't overdo it. So like I said, this is mostly pasture-raised, but not entirely. And we're just going to brown this up and add it to the crock pot. So my secret ingredient for my chili is obviously the homegrown ingredients. But if you don't have that, that's okay. Pretty much my chili is different every time. It just happens to be whatever I have on hand. Sometimes I won't have celery. So, you know, I might put some squash in there. I put pumpkin, carrots. Carrots helps to sweeten it a little bit. And if you didn't know, you got a salty flavor. Salt and sugar are kind of the opposite, but a little of each helps to dress the dish up. So I even add just a pinch of salt to my coffee because it takes away the bitterness, which doesn't sound like it should, but it does. Especially if you're not drinking, you know, really high-grade coffee. I don't drink a lot of coffee, but when I do, I want it to taste good. Speaking of coffee, there are some people that swear by putting coffee in your chili. I have not tried that either, but I'm open to it. This is just going to be just the regular chili that I make though, so nothing crazy, nothing unusual. And this hamburger doesn't have to be completely cooked because it's going to cook for several hours in the crock pot. So what I've got here is 1 pound of ground beef, 2 stalks of celery, approximately 3/4 of a cup or 1 large onion. Mine was frozen, so, you know, it's just a guesstimate. And some bell peppers. So that's the start of it. All right, and this is garden tomatoes, and the reason they're so much darker than what you see in the stores, all of my tomatoes are they're heirloom. So I've got stuff like black creme and some paste tomatoes, San Marzano. I've got some other heirlooms in there too. But anyway, it helps to give it a really nice flavor. I have in the heirloom tomatoes. I think they're so much better than store-bought. And I had just a half a jar of salsa left over in the refrigerator, so we're going to use that up. And I've got just a half a can of black beans that I didn't use up on the tacos. Sometimes I'll add corn to this, and this might be one of those times. And I've got a jar of corn. This is our sweet corn from the garden. I don't know if I'll add the whole thing or not. You don't want it to overpower it. You just want it to be enough. Oh, what the heck. Let's see, we're there already. We might as well just go for it. So far I've got, started with onions. Gave them just a quick browning. Some bell peppers, some celery. Let's see, a pound of ground beef. A can of chili beans. A half a can of black beans. A pint of sweet corn. Or canned corn, whatever you have. And I'm going to add like a very, very generous teaspoon or tablespoon of beef flavoring. And we're going for about, that's approximately a tablespoon of chili powder. A little bit of paprika. It's probably a half a teaspoon. I'm almost out. This is red cayenne pepper. I'm only gonna do just a hint of it because my husband doesn't like anything really spicy. So that can be added later. I don't think I'm gonna put any additional salt in this. There was some salt in the beef bouillon, and that can be added to your dish as you're serving it up if you want more salt. I think that'll be fine. We're gonna do a couple hours on low, let that meld together as far as the flavors. If you have little ones in your family, you might cook up some macaroni. They may not enjoy the chili straight up, but if you put some macaroni with it, I bet it'll sell. Well, it's been a bit, so let's see how this chili is gonna taste. I don't use a bunch of chopped tomatoes. My husband really doesn't like tomatoes, so it sounds crazy to like tomato sauce and other things, but not chopped fresh tomatoes, so we're not gonna do that. There are times where I will add some carrots with it. It will add some sweetness to it, and other times I will put squash. It's a really good way to use up your butternut squash or pumpkin or whatever else you have. Just slice it, chunk it up really small. Well, let's see how it tastes. Just delicious, just exactly how I always make it. So I hope this helps you if you don't know how to make chili. It's just a basic guide. You can put in it whatever you want, whatever your family likes, and hold out whatever you don't want. That's the magic about doing your own cooking, is you can tailor it to your own flavors and what you like. I hope this helps you. Thanks for watching. And oh, one more thing. I hope to see you again soon.